Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is currently suing Binance and its founder, CZ. And the moment this news broke, we saw a quick drop to the downside across most of the crypto market, and especially across some of these coins, because all of these coins just officially got labeled as unregistered securities by the SEC, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, alongside some new signals that are flashing in the shorter term, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, we need to talk about the crypto news today because the Securities and Exchange Commission just sued Binance. In fact, they filed 13 charges against Binance entities and its founder, CZ. And some of these charges include operating unregistered exchanges and also, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, the unregistered offer and sales of securities. And now, just 24 hours ago, Binance was not offering or selling any securities on their platform because none of the cryptos on Binance were labeled as securities just 24 hours ago. But now, at the same time as the SEC filing these charges against Binance for apparently offering unregistered securities, all of a sudden, the SEC is now labeling all of these coins as unregistered securities.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
And so basically what just happened is the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, just essentially made up a new rule at the same time as enforcing that new rule. So Binance really had no way of knowing this was coming next because previously these coins were not listed as unregistered securities. But now the SEC is labeling these coins as unregistered securities, which basically makes it illegal to offer these coins on your exchange if you're operating within the US. And so for the rest of the world, this doesn't really matter, but for the United States specifically, these coins should no longer be on any US exchanges, because if these coins are now labeled as unregistered securities by the SEC, then it's essentially illegal to have these coins on any US exchanges until they actually register with the SEC and become registered securities. And in case you cannot see what this document says right here, in this official document submitted by the SEC, on page 85, we can see that these so-called investment contracts, also known as securities, includes but is not limited to BNB, which is Binance's exchange coin, BUSD, which is Binance's stable coin, and also these other crypto asset securities with trading symbols SOL, so that's Solana, ADA, which is Cardano, Matic, Filecoin, Atom, Sand, Decentraland, Algorand, AXS, and COTI. So that is right. All of these coins and tokens are now officially labeled as unregistered securities according to the SEC, which once again means it's now potentially illegal to trade any of these coins from within the US on a crypto exchange offering these coins from within the US. Now, of course, this is all developing and I am not a lawyer, so this is not legal advice. And if you want to know more about all of the details around the law, then obviously consult a legal professional. I am not one. But overall, this is not very good news, especially for these specific coins and tokens, because this now means that potentially some of these coins or tokens, or potentially all of these coins and tokens listed in this document, could be unlisted from major crypto exchanges like Binance US or perhaps Coinbase, which is another US-based exchange, which could of course be bearish for the value of these coins. And now for the network of these coins, for example, the Polygon blockchain or the Cardano blockchain, of course, these should still operate as usual because they are international networks. So whether or not the US decides to ban these coins or allow these coins, it doesn't really matter. The networks should continue running as usual, but at least in the short term, due to this, the value of these coins, the price, should not be too good. And as for Binance, the exchange, do I think Binance will survive? And well, what I say to that is if Binance survived 2022, they're probably going to get through this, and it's possible Binance tries to fight this in court, or it's possible they end up paying some sort of fine. But either way, no matter how safe I think an exchange is, personally, I always store excess crypto offline in cold storage off exchanges, especially after the year of 2022. We should all know by now, not your keys, not your coins. And so personally, I only keep the crypto that I'm actually trading with on an exchange, and any excess money or excess crypto I keep off exchanges. That's just something that I do, whether or not I think the exchange is safe. And as always, if you want to stay up to date in real time and get these real-time updates like this, then make sure to follow me over on my Twitter, because as soon as the market began dropping and this news broke, of course, I was covering all of that over on my Twitter in real time. And you can find a link to my Twitter account in the description down below and in the pinned comment. Beware of impersonators and scammers, so make sure to use the link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But anyway, now getting into the Bitcoin part of this video. This is on the daily Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is about to run into this significant area of support, which is sitting in between around 24.3k to 25.3k. And this area of support is based on major resistance that we saw throughout late 2022 and also just here during February 2023, and should now be acting as new support. And on top of that, if the price of Bitcoin pulls all the way back down towards around 24,000, that would give us around the same sized pullback to what we saw back here during late February and early March, because that was a 22% pullback. And if the price of Bitcoin now pulls back down towards around 24k, which would be the lower end of this range of supports, then that would also be around a 22% pullback from high to low if we see support in that area. And as for resistance on the daily time frame, obviously we still have this significant area of resistance in between around 28,000 to 30.5k. And as for the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, just yesterday they were looking relatively neutral, not overly bullish or overly bearish. But obviously with that recent news in the crypto market resulting in a quick drop across the crypto market, this has pulled these price oscillators further to the downside in the shorter term, resulting now in a bearish cross in the daily Bitcoin MACD and the daily Bitcoin RSI now forming a new lower low. So at least as of right now, these are looking more bearish than bullish. And now staying on the daily time frame, but taking a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing low to swing high, and we can see here that the price of Bitcoin just confirmed a break below this first Fibonacci retracement level, which was the 23.6% Fibonacci level, sitting at around 26.3k approximately. And so far we have seen a daily candle close back below that level, which is technically one confirmation confirming this break to the downsides. And simply based on the Fibonacci levels, the next important Fibonacci level is sitting at around 23.7k to 23.8k, which should be acting as decent support if we actually pull back down towards that area, which once again, just before that Fibonacci level, we also have this area of support based on previous resistance. So these are the next levels of support that I'm currently watching on the daily time frame. And in a much more bearish scenario, which as of right now, of course, we still need to see confirmed breaks below some of these other levels of support. But if that actually happens, and if we see a much more bearish scenario and really reverse this larger bullish trend, then in that case, one of the most important Fibonacci areas is, of course, the golden pocket, which is sitting in between around 19.7k to 20.2k, which is also exactly where this previous low bottomed out. So it's clear on the chart that that area right there is significant support if we actually make it down that low, which as of right now, it's not clear that the price will actually drop that low because we still have these other levels of support to focus on first. And as for that falling wedge pattern here on the daily Bitcoin chart, it's possible that this pattern could be breaking to the downsides, but we really need to see some more confirmation of a break to the downside here to invalidate this potential bullish pattern, because at least as of right now, this descending line of support is sitting at approximately 25.7k. So we really need to see a confirmed break well below that level in order to essentially invalidate the formation of this falling wedge pattern, which, by the way, around a third of the time, this type of pattern breaks to the downside, and around 2/3 of the time, this type of pattern breaks out to the upside, which is why it's usually considered a bullish pattern. And in case you're wondering, if we actually see a bounce here, then this line of resistance is sitting at approximately 27.4k. And now, if you're zooming into the 8-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, obviously just recently we've seen a break below this area of short-term support, which means the price of Bitcoin has clearly left this sideways price range. So of course, in the imminent short term, we are now looking more bearish than neutral or bullish. And of course, I said in my last video that the momentum here in the price oscillators are starting to flip more bearish, but until we saw the confirmed break below that area of support, of course, we were mostly neutral in the short term. So I was expecting mostly choppy sideways price action. But once again, that important news that just broke sent the market tumbling a little further to the downside, which now confirms that yes, we are more bearish in the short term. And now, with that being said, if you're looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI, this is currently sitting in oversold territories. And if you're looking at the last few times this has happened, this also happened around some sort of local low in the price of Bitcoin. So it's possible, just based on this signal alone, that we could see some sort of short-term bounce or consolidation based on this signal, as what we saw back here and back here. But once again, overall, in terms of the short-term trend and momentum, this is currently looking more bearish than bullish. And in case you're wondering, yes, this previous area of support should now be acting as new resistance in case we do actually see a bounce back to the upside. This area of resistance is sitting in between around 26.1k to 26,500. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video. This is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is running into this area of support again, which is sitting in between around 1770 to 1820. And now, if we were to see a confirmed break below 1770, then in that case, we also have this area of support sitting in between around 1650 to 1.7k. And if that happens, if we actually see a pullback all the way back down towards around 1650 to 1.7k, then in that case, that would simply give us around the same sized pullback from high to low as to what we saw back here during late February and early March. And so, at least as of right now, if you're talking about the larger multi-month trend since November last year, technically speaking, we are still within a larger uptrend, but clearly just in the shorter term, prices and momentum are looking more bearish than bullish just in the shorter term now. And if you're looking at the daily Ethereum price oscillators over the last one day, once again, like I said for Bitcoin, these have flipped a little bit more bearish because we are now potentially seeing a bearish cross here in the daily Ethereum MACD, but this is still yet to confirm. And if you're looking at the daily Ethereum RSI, after forming a new lower high, which I mentioned in my last video, it is now coming back down to form horizontal lows, which is actually more of a neutral signal, not overly bullish or overly bearish. So at least in the shorter term, this is pointing towards neutral to bearish in terms of the shorter term trend and momentum for Ethereum. And now if you zoom into the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart, we can see that over the last one day, we have seen a break back below this area of support, which was sitting in between around 1830 to 1860. And so now that area should be acting as resistance in case we see a retest back into that area. And as for horizontal support, we have this level at around 1760. And below that level, we have this price range in between around 1.7k to 1730. And once again, like I just said earlier, the short-term trend and momentum, according to these price oscillators on the 8-hour time frame, is currently looking more bearish than bullish, which I also mentioned in my last video, saying that the 8-hour Ethereum RSI is forming lower highs and lower lows, which is technically a bearish signal. And obviously, the 8-hour Ethereum MACD just experienced a bearish cross and is now showing some more bearish momentum, at least in the short term here. So this is pointing towards a possible continued correction in the price of ETH, perhaps down towards these levels of support. But in the imminent short term here on the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, the price of ETH is currently running into this ascending line of support, which is sitting at pretty much exactly 1.8k. And so right now, once again, that is the imminent short-term support to pay attention to. And on top of that, if you're looking at the 6-hour Ethereum RSI, this just recently entered into oversold territories for the first time since back here around the 11th to 12th of May. And obviously, if you're looking at what happened in the price during that time, we saw a local low in the price of ETH. And the time before that, where the 6-hour RSI entered into oversold territories, we saw the price of ETH was approaching a local low, but it wasn't there just yet. We still had one more drop before we actually hit that local low, which actually formed a small bullish divergence. And so this basically means that we're either at some sort of local low or we're approaching a local low, which means sometime soon expect either a bit of a consolidation or perhaps after one more small drop, expect some sort of bounce in the price of ETH, which could form a bullish divergence if we're following this previous example. But once again, even though we are potentially approaching a low in the short term in the price of ETH, as of right now, the momentum is simply looking more bearish than bullish, at least in the shorter term. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money automatically using artificial intelligence, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money very easily in a sideways range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.